Have you ever felt like other people's emotions were driving your moods and decisions? Have you ever felt overwhelmed by the weight of emotional attachment, stuck in a cycle that seemed impossible to break? Many people struggle with letting go, feeling helpless and trapped in their emotions. But did you know? According to Stoic philosophy, other people's emotions should never be our burden. This is the bright spot for change, and it's within your reach. The Stoics taught that happiness and peace are in your hands, not in the words or actions of others. In this video, we explore the 10 golden rules of Stoic philosophy, rules that will help you not only understand yourself better, but also maintain your composure, no matter who is trying to stir up your emotions. If you are ready to take back control of your life, then join me on this journey. Detachment is transformative, as Seneca wisely said, that he who is brave is free. Detachment does not mean becoming cold or indifferent, but means finding the strength and clarity within yourself. In this video, we will explore the profound Stoic principles that will guide you on your journey to emotional freedom. By incorporating these habits into your daily life, you will discover practical and healthy strategies to loosen the grip of emotional attachment, allowing you to regain peace of mind and focus on what really matters. Imagine saying goodbye to the spirit, the chains that bind you, and embrace a renewed sense of clarity and focus. The teachings of Stoicism will empower you to navigate your emotions with resilience and wisdom. As Marcus Aurelius once said, you have power over your mind, not external events. Realize this, and you will find power by applying these teachings. You will learn to prioritize inner peace over external circumstances. Are you ready to break free from the shackles of emotional attachment? Embrace the power of personal growth. If you are ready, then this video is for you. We will guide you through 10 Stoic habits that will change your approach to emotional detachment. Start by asking yourself, what is truly valuable in our lives? If not peace of mind, join us as we explore these rules, paving the way to a liberating Stoic mindset. If you enjoyed this video and found it helpful, please hit the subscribe button and join our community. For more insight, we'd love to hear your thoughts. So leave a comment below. If you're not sure what to say, just type your feelings. Freedom starts now. Let's start this journey of emotional freedom together. Rule 1. Don't take other people's feelings as your responsibility. One of the most important lessons from Stoic philosophy is that we must understand the line between what belongs to us and what belongs to others. Epictetus, one of the great Stoic thinkers, once said, one of the first things you need to learn is to distinguish clearly between what is within your control and what is not. And other people's feelings are definitely something you can't control. Think about everyday situations. Maybe a coworker is getting angry at you for a small mistake, or a family member is upset about something personal. Our natural reaction is often to feel responsible for dealing with their emotions, trying to soothe them, or worse, letting their negative emotions affect our own mood. But this is wrong. Have you ever wondered how much control you have given to others because of your attachment? This is where the power of detachment comes into play. Detachment does not mean you stop caring. It means you start living a life where your peace, happiness are not determined by external factors. Why detachment is so consider the wisdom of Epictetus, who said that we suffer not because of the events in our lives, but because of our judgments about them. Detachment is about taking back your power, understanding that while you cannot control external events, you can control your reactions to them. Think about it. When we cling too tightly to people or situations, they start to control us. It is like giving someone else the remote control to change the channel at will. Their influence can determine your happiness, your sadness, and in extreme cases can lead you to irreversible decisions. Detachment is about taking back that remote control and deciding for yourself which channel to watch. Imagine your emotions are like a kite. Every string attached to something or someone represents a potential direction. Your emotions can get pulled if you hold on to too many strings, or one string too tightly. You will be at the mercy of the wind. Stoicism teaches us to loosen our grip, understanding that although we cannot control the wind, we can decide which strings to hold on to. This approach does not make you cold or indifferent. It makes you grounded and resilient. Let's put it into practice. Start by identifying what or who you are to attach to. Next, ask yourself why you are seeking validation, fear of loneliness, something else. Understanding the root of your attachment is the first step to loosening its grip. Now engage in activities that fill you with a sense of purpose and satisfaction. By focusing on what you can control and let go of what you can't, you begin to anchor yourself in your own power and worth as you embrace it. Why you shouldn't take on other people's emotions. You can't control their emotions. People tend to decide for themselves how they react to situations. Their emotions are not a reflection of you, but a result of how they perceive the world. Sometimes, their negative emotions have nothing to do with you at all, but are just a product of a bad day. It's mentally draining. When you try to take on other people's emotions, you're wasting your precious energy on something that isn't necessary. Not only does this diminish your ability to stay calm, but it also makes you feel like you've lost control of your life. You're losing your boundaries. When you let other people's emotions take over, you're breaking down necessary emotional boundaries. This can lead to you feeling taken advantage of or disrespected. How to put this rule into practice. Separate your emotions from others. Whenever someone expresses anger or frustration, ask yourself, is this emotion theirs or mine? If it's not yours, don't let it get into your head. For example, if a coworker gets upset because you disagree with their opinion, you might think they have a right to feel that way, but that doesn't mean I have to feel bad about my decision. Remind yourself of control. A powerful Stoic technique is to remind yourself, their emotions are not my problem. I just need to focus on how I respond. This doesn't mean you have to be insensitive or uncaring. It simply means you don't let their emotions dictate your actions. Learn to empathize without being controlled. Stoicism doesn't teach us to be indifferent to other people's emotions, but to empathize appropriately. You can listen, support, but still maintain emotional distance. Try saying, I understand you're upset, but I believe you can get through this. Stay calm in the midst of chaos. When you find yourself caught up in someone else's emotions, practice stopping and thinking. Take a deep breath and remind yourself that you are not responsible for these emotions. Imagine your mind as a calm lake. Any outside emotion is just a passing breeze, unable to disturb the water. Take an example from the life of Marcus Aurelius, the Roman emperor and Stoic philosopher. In his meditations, he wrote, when someone offends you, remember that the problem is not you, but their view of the problem. As an emperor, he faced a lot of disagreement, criticism, and betrayal. However, he always kept his cool and focused on his task instead of letting other people's emotions affect him. Underscore, underscore, underscore. 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 Underscore, underscore, underscore. Underscore, underscore. Underscore, 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 underscore. Underscore, underscore, underscore. Underscore, underscore. Underscore, underscore, underscore. Underscore, underscore. Underscore, underscore. Underscore, underscore. Pick a recent situation where someone else's emotions affected you. Stop and think, am I taking responsibility for their emotions? If so, focus on separating your boundaries and focusing only on your own emotions. You can write down a reminder to yourself like, their emotions are theirs, my peace is mine. When you apply this rule to your life, you will notice an incredible mental freedom. You don't have to control everything or be responsible for the emotions of the whole world. As the Stoics taught, true happiness comes from within, from how you handle your own mind, not from how you handle other people's emotions. Rule 2. Separate other people's behavior from your self-worth. Have you ever wondered why we cling to certain people or situations? Even when it causes us pain, what drives this need to cling and how can we break free from it? Let's dive into this concept, drawing wisdom from the Stoics to guide us on how attachments are essentially rooted in our ego. One of the core principles of Stoic philosophy is the distinction between the actions of others and our own intrinsic worth. Marcus Aurelius once said, other people's actions reflect them, not you. This means that no matter what someone says or does, their actions do not define your worth. However, in our daily lives, it is easy to fall into the trap of letting other people's words or actions hurt us. A criticism, a lack of respect, or even the coldness of another person is enough to make us feel insecure, lack confidence, and doubt our worth. But that is not how the Stoic lives. Needs when we attach to something or someone, we are often acting from a position of ego-seeking validation, security, or a sense of identity from external sources. Consider a newborn baby radiating joy and unaffected by the complexity of the ego. As we grow, our ego begins to take control, cluttering our lives with attachments. These attachments, whether to people, objects, or ideals, cloud our judgment and distract us from our true self, which is love and self-satisfaction. Have you ever felt that your happiness depends on another person? The approval or presence of a person, this is a clear sign of ego-driven attachment. To begin untangling ourselves from these attachments, we must first recognize what they are a product of the ego seeking security and validation. Ask yourself, why am I attached to this person or this result? What fear or desire is driving this attachment? Understanding the root of your attachment is the first step to loosening its grip. Now imagine living a life from a place of love instead of ego. What if you could trust in the abundance of the universe? Believe that. What is meant for you will find its way. This mindset shift is powerful. It involves recognizing your inherent worth and potential independent of external factors. When you begin to view your desires and connections through this lens, you will begin to see the unnecessary burden they bring to your life. Accepting the concept of abundance is crucial. When you let go of the fear of loss, the universe often rewards you with more than you let go. Detachment does not mean you care less, it means you understand better. It means stay true to your essence and let love lead the way instead of fear. The journey towards detachment is transformation, which is about shedding the layers of ego to discover the resilient, loving soul beneath, which is about moving forward with lightness, free from the burden of attachment, and ready to welcome new blessings with open arms and a steadfast heart. By prioritizing inner peace over external validation, you pave the way for a life of true emotional freedom and fulfillment. Why separate other people's behavior from your self-worth? Other people's behavior is not a reflection of you. Other people's actions, emotions, and words often come from their own internal experiences, thoughts, and feelings, things you cannot control. This means that if someone criticizes you, it often reflects more on them than on you. For example, if a co-worker criticizes you in a meeting, remember that they are probably feeling insecure or pressured, and that it has nothing to do with your true abilities. You have the power to define your worth. Your worth is not dependent on the approval of others. For the Stoics, true worth comes from living by your own principles, not from pleasing others. Helps you maintain confidence and peace. When you learn to separate the behavior of others from your sense of self-worth, you will become more confident and less vulnerable to negative words or actions. How to practice this rule? Understand that people act according to their nature. Marcus Aurelius taught, remember that each person acts according to his or her nature. Do not expect him or her to change to conform to your expectations. When someone behaves badly, see it as a reflection of their nature or emotional state, not as a judgment on you. Ask yourself, what does this really say about me? Whenever you feel offended or affected by someone else's actions, stop and ask yourself, what does this action really say about me? Often the answer is nothing. For example, if someone is upset that you refuse to help them, it doesn't mean you're being selfish. It just means they're upset that they didn't get what they wanted. Practice compassion for others. Stoics don't let other people's emotions get the best of them, but they also don't judge others. Practice compassion and understand that someone may be acting negatively because they're dealing with a difficult situation in their life. For example, if someone gets angry with you, consider that they may be having a bad day or have a personal issue that you're not aware of. Focus on inner worth. Build your self-worth on the things you can control, your own actions, thoughts, and reactions. Once you realize that your worth doesn't depend on external validation, you'll no longer feel hurt by the actions of others. Distance yourself if necessary. Sometimes, the best way to protect your values is to distance yourself from people who constantly behave negatively. You don't have to tolerate disrespect to prove anything. In his meditations, Marcus Aurelius recorded a lesson he learned when he faced criticism from those around him. Instead of reacting to the negativity, he reminded himself, what others do is none of my business, as long as I maintain my integrity and live by my principles. This helped him maintain his equanimity throughout his reign as Roman ruler. This story reminds us that even when faced with negativity from others, you still have the choice to stand firm in your values. Practice today. I think about a recent situation where someone acted in a way that made you feel hurt or doubted your value. Ask yourself, what does this really say about me? Write down 3 things you are proud of about yourself to remind yourself that your self-worth comes from within, not from what others think. Try practicing self-compassion by thinking about the circumstances that might have caused the other person to behave that way. Underscore, 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 underscore. 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 Underscore, 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 underscore. Remember, other people's behavior is their story. Your self-worth is your story. Once you separate the two, you will feel lighter, freer, and more confident in yourself. Rule 3. Understand that people act according to their nature. Stoic philosophy teaches that each person acts based on their own perceptions, experiences, and nature. Marcus Aurelius wrote, when someone offends you, remember that they are acting according to what they think is right according to what they are. This does not mean excusing their bad behavior, but rather accepting that no one acts without reason from their own perspective. Understanding that others act according to what they are helps you avoid negative emotions like anger or bitterness. Instead, you can maintain equanimity and focus on how you respond. Why is this important? Reduce unrealistic expectations. When you expect others to act according to what you think is right, you are likely to be disappointed. The Stoics remind us that everyone has their own way of seeing the world, and you cannot impose your values on them. For example, if a friend is consistently late, instead of getting upset, accept that it is a habit or part of their nature. When you don't expect them to change, you'll feel more at ease. Increase empathy. Understanding that people act based on their nature not only helps you feel less angry, but it also helps you become more empathetic. They may be struggling with personal issues or affected by past experiences. Helps you focus on what you can control. You can't control other people's actions, but you can control how you perceive and respond to them. Stoics focus on this to maintain their composure. Have you ever felt that your happiness depends on the actions or validation of others? Do you sometimes believe that if you try hard enough, you can control the outcome of your relationships and emotions? This is a common misconception that many of us face the illusion of control. Understanding and breaking this illusion is crucial to emotional detachment and personal freedom. Our ego often tricks us into thinking that we can control external events and the reactions of others. This illusion leads us to placing undue importance on how others perceive us. This can lead to emotional clinging and dependency. As Epicus, a Stoic philosopher, once wisely said that what matters is not what happens to you, but how you react to it. This quote highlights a fundamental principle of Stoicism. While we cannot control external events, we can control our reactions to them. When we cling to the illusion of control, we may find ourselves idolizing individuals and putting them on pedestals, believing that our worth is tied to their approval. This way of thinking creates a distorted perception of reality, as we perceive others as possessing something unattainable. But when we remove these illusions, we realize that everyone is equally human, equally vulnerable. No one has a special ticket that makes them inherently superior or more worthy. To break this illusion, start by acknowledging that much of what we believe we can control is actually beyond our influence. This realization can be both humbling, liberating. Accepting that we cannot control the actions or emotions of others allows us to focus on what we can control: our own thoughts, reactions, and personal growth. By focusing inward, we build confidence and resilience. For example, instead of seeking validation from others, practice self-affirmation. Remind yourself regularly of your unique strengths and qualities. Understand that your worth is not dependent on the perceptions of others. This practice aligns with another Stoic teaching of Marcus Aurelius: you have control over your mind, not external events. Realize this, and you will find strength in embracing it. Abundance thinking is another effective strategy. Recognizing that the universe is vast and there is so much love is successful and happy. When you stop fearing the loss of a particular person or outcome, you open yourself up to a world of new possibilities and opportunities in relationships. This understanding allows you to love freely without desperate attachments. It empowers you to appreciate connections while maintaining your sense of self-esteem and independence. Remember that practicing emotional detachment is not about becoming indifferent. Is about realizing that your wholeness does not depend on the presence of anyone else. By internalizing these Stoic principles, you cultivate a deep emotional strength that prepares you to face life's uncertainties with grace, letting go of the illusion of control and accepting the liberating truth that the real power lies within your own mind. Practice today. I think of a person in your life whose behavior often annoys you. Instead of judging them, try to understand why they behave that way. When someone angers you, tell yourself, they are behaving the way they know how, not the way I want them to. Focus on how you respond rather than trying to change them. For example, if they are often irritable, respond with a calm, unaffected attitude. Underscore, 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 underscore. Underscore, 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 underscore. When you understand that people are the way they are, you reduce feelings of hurt, disappointment, and anger. You don't have to agree with their actions, but you can learn to accept that it's their story, not yours. This not only helps you maintain inner peace, but it also helps you develop empathy and patience in your everyday relationships. Rule 4. Accept that you can't please everyone. One of the hardest lessons in life is understanding that you can't please everyone. No matter how hard you try, there will always be people who disagree, aren't happy, or even criticize you. But Stoic philosophy teaches that it's not your problem. Marcus Aurelius once said, "Live by your values and don't let the opinions of others control you." Accepting that you can't please everyone doesn't mean you should ignore your responsibilities or be indifferent to others. Instead, it is about understanding that other people's satisfaction is not a measure of your worth. You can live authentically by your principles without needing validation from everyone. Why can't you please everyone? Everyone has different expectations. Oh, no one sees the world the same way you do. What you think is right or important may not be the same as what others think. Trying to meet every expectation will leave you exhausted and disoriented. For example, you may make a sensible decision at work, but coworker A may think you are too rigid, while coworker B may think you are indecisive. No matter what you do, someone will be unhappy. No one knows you completely. Only you know the full picture of your values, goals, and principles. Therefore, no one can judge you completely accurately. Trying to please everyone is a futile effort. It makes you lose yourself. When you spend too much time and energy trying to please others, you risk giving up your values and principles. This not only lowers your self-esteem, but also leaves you feeling empty and directionless. Why you can't please everyone? Everyone has different expectations. No one sees the world the same way you do. What you think is right or important may not be the same as what someone else thinks. Trying to meet everyone's expectations will leave you exhausted and disoriented. For example, you may make a reasonable decision at work, but coworker A may think you are too rigid, while coworker B may think you are indecisive. No matter what you do, someone will be unhappy. No one knows you completely. Only you know the full picture of your values, goals, and principles. Therefore, no one can judge you completely. Trying to please everyone is a futile effort. It makes you lose yourself. When you spend too much time and energy trying to please others, you risk giving up your own values and principles. Not only does this lower your self-esteem, it can leave you feeling empty and disoriented. How to apply this rule in practice? Identify your core values. Before you try to please anyone, ask yourself, is this in line with my values and goals? If it's not, don't feel pressured to comply. For example, if you value honesty but someone asks you to lie to please them, politely but firmly say no. Learn to accept disappointment. Remind yourself that just because someone else is unhappy, it doesn't mean you're wrong. Everyone is entitled to their opinion, and their opinion doesn't define your worth. For example, if you turn down a party invitation because you need time off, remember that their disappointment is not your responsibility. Focus on what you can control. You can't control how other people feel and react, but you can control how you act. Instead of trying to please everyone, focus on living your values and doing your best work. Set clear boundaries. Don't be afraid to say no or say no when necessary. Setting boundaries is how you protect your energy and values. Remember that you don't have to apologize for not meeting someone else's expectations. For example, if someone asks you to work overtime when you already have personal plans, politely decline, "I'm sorry, but I can't. I need time to meet other commitments." Focus on the right people. Instead of trying to please everyone, focus on the people who truly understand and respect your values. These are the people who deserve your attention. Life doesn't mean you're missing out. It means you're fully present in your own life, creating memorable moments that belong to you, and only you. Attachment to a false image of happiness can make letting go seem impossible. You see others living their best lives and fear that you're falling behind, but remember, the grass only looks greener from afar. Up close, you'll see it has brown patches too, creating the illusion of perfection in other people's lives, stealing your own joy. It's like running on a treadmill trying to catch up with a hologram. No matter how fast you go, you'll never reach it because it's not real. Detachment isn't about giving up on happiness. It's about defining it on your own terms. To emotionally detach, follow the Stoic principle of focusing on what is within your control, your thoughts, your actions, your growth. It's amazing to realize that no one's opinion, anyone without a past relationship, even without a shiny filtered life on social media, has the power to define your worth or happiness. This realization is your armor, allowing you to move forward unburdened by unnecessary attachments, free to experience life in all its unpredictable glory, and open to the truly fulfilling connections that are waiting just around the corner. Remember that letting go is not the end, but a bold step towards the life you truly deserve. Epictetus, a Stoic thinker, once said, If you want to please everyone, you will never please yourself. His story emphasizes that instead of trying to gain approval from others, you should focus on living an honest and meaningful life. Imagine you are an artist. If you try to paint a picture to please everyone, you will end up with a chaotic work with no clear style. But if you paint in a way that you believe in and are passionate about, you will create meaningful work, even if not everyone likes it. Write down 3 core values that you want to live by, and recall them whenever you feel pressured to please someone. Practice saying no in small situations. For example, if someone invites you to participate in an activity that you don't want to do, politely but firmly decline. Ask yourself, if I try to please them, am I missing out on something important to me? If the answer is yes, choose yourself over the approval of others. You can't control what other people think or feel, but you can control how you live and act. Remember that it's okay and even necessary to not please everyone in order to live in alignment with your values. As the Stoics taught, live to do right, not to please. Rule 5. Use reason as your path to happiness. The Stoics believed that happiness comes not from what happens around us, but from how we interpret and react to those events. Epictetus once said, "Happiness and freedom begin with understanding that you have no control over what happens, but you do have control over how you react." This is the key to true happiness. Negative emotions such as anger, jealousy, or fear are the biggest barriers to happiness. But you can overcome these emotions by using reason, focusing your thoughts on more important things, and learning to live with equanimity no matter what happens. Have you ever wondered why true happiness often seems out of reach? What if, bound by the whims of others or external circumstances, the key to lasting happiness lies within you, independent of any other influences? In this passage, we will explore the Stoic path to happiness and how emotional detachment can lead to deeper and more resilient joy. Where does true value come from? Is a question that, when answered, can help us break free from unnecessary attachments and move towards a state of emotional freedom. As Epictetus once wisely said, that wealth is not about having many possessions, but about having few needs. This insight directs us to look inward rather than outward for our sense of worth and happiness. Understanding this concept is especially important when the challenge is to detach from someone, not to cut ties with malice or indifference, but to realize that the deepest form of companionship you will ever have is friendship with yourself. True value turns out to come from your character, your wisdom, how you treat others. We often mistakenly believe that our happiness is locked in the presence of others in our lives. Value ours increases when they approve or decreases when they neglect. This mindset binds us to decrease our great potential to the whims of others. Imagine a bird. Believing it needs permission to fly, we limit our emotional sky. Instead, imagine realizing that the sky is always open, waiting for you to spread your wings in your own way. This confidence is liberating, teaches us that our worth does not fluctuate with the opinions or presence of others. So, detachment is not the act of pushing someone away, but bringing ourselves closer to our essence. By focusing on personal growth and becoming the best version of ourselves, we break free from the chains. The weight of lack is like cultivating a garden. You will not beg for a single flower to grow. You tend the soil, water the plants, and trust the natural process. In focusing on self-improvement, we cultivate a garden that blooms regardless, no matter who chooses to walk through it or admire its beauty. This nurturing becomes a source of happiness, independent, resilient, and incredibly rewarding. How do we walk this path? Emotional detachment begins with the understanding that you are complete. Or without someone's affirmation, your journey is to explore the vastness of your own sky. Learn to love the freedom that comes from flying solo. When necessary, accept the wisdom of Stoicism. Focus on what is within your control, your thoughts, your actions, your growth. This does not mean closing your heart or turning a blind eye to love and connection, but means making sure to anchor your emotions on the solid foundation of your being. Remember that your self-worth is not a puzzle missing pieces from others, but a masterpiece in progress, as still open to more beauty from the world around it. Happiness starts from within. Happiness does not come from external events. The Stoics emphasize that external events do not have the power to make you happy or unhappy. It is how you interpret them that determines how you feel. For example, if rain ruins your picnic plans, instead of getting angry, think of it as an opportunity to relax at home. Rationality is a tool for shaping emotions. Happiness is not about not feeling negative, but about being able to control and transform negative emotions into positive lessons. Rationality gives you the power to do this. Ask yourself, is this really important? Is it worth losing my peace? Happiness lies in living by your values. When you live by your principles and values, you will feel content and at peace. This comes from focusing on what you can control, rather than letting other people's opinions or actions dictate it. Reason. The light that lights the way to happiness. Pause and evaluate your emotions. Whenever you feel negative, stop and ask yourself, why am I feeling this way? Is this emotion coming from something I can control? Pausing helps you avoid knee-jerk reactions and make more rational choices. For example, if you feel jealous of a friend's success, remind yourself that everyone has their own path, and their success does not diminish your own. Find a different perspective. Marcus Aurelius once advised, look at things from different angles, and you will see that the problem is smaller than you think. Reason helps you change the way you see events, turning obstacles into opportunities for growth. For example, when faced with failure, instead of getting discouraged, think, this is an opportunity for me to learn and become better. Focus on the present, and the mind reminds you that happiness lies not in the past or the future, but in how you enjoy the present moment. Worrying about what hasn't happened yet or regretting what has happened will only cause you to miss out on the good things right in front of you. Turn adversity into a lesson. Epictetus once said, consider every trial an opportunity to improve yourself. Instead of letting adversity discourage you, use your mind to find the lesson in each situation. For example, if you encounter difficulties at work, think, this will help me learn patience and improve my skills. Marcus Aurelius, the Roman emperor, faced countless pressures from war to political intrigue, yet he always kept his composure and focused on inner happiness. In his meditations, he wrote, true happiness is when your mind is at peace, undisturbed by what is happening around you. His example shows us that happiness is not the absence of challenges, but the ability to maintain peace of mind regardless of circumstances. Practice your happiness path. Happiness journal. Every day, write down 3 things that make you happy or grateful. This helps you realize that happiness is not about big things, but about simple everyday moments. Remind yourself of the importance of reason. When negative emotions arise, repeat the Stoic mantra, it's not the event that hurts me, it's how I think about it. Look for the lesson in every situation. No matter what happens, ask yourself, what can I learn from this? This helps you turn adversity into an opportunity for growth. Practice presence. Every day, spend at least 5 minutes focusing on your breathing or observing your surroundings without judgment. This helps you return to the present, where true happiness lies. Happiness is not a destination, it's how you travel your path. When you use reason to control your emotions, learn from adversity, and focus on what matters, you will find happiness from within. As the Stoics taught, happiness is not something you seek in the outside world, but something you build in your own soul. Rule 6. Build emotional boundaries to protect your happiness. One of the important principles of Stoic philosophy is knowing how to set emotional boundaries. Marcus Aurelius once wrote, your mind is strong if you do not let things from the outside in. This means that, to protect your happiness and inner peace, you need to learn to keep your distance from negative energies from others. Emotional boundaries are not a wall that separates you from the world, but a protective barrier that allows you to control what affects your mind. When you have these boundaries, you won't get caught up in other people's negative emotions, and you can focus on what's really important. Do you often get caught up in memories of the past or worry about the future? Embracing the present moment is a powerful way to emotionally detach and find peace within yourself. This practice is deeply rooted in Stoic philosophy, encouraging us to live fully in the present, appreciating the present moment rather than being consumed by what is past or what might happen. Marcus Aurelius, a famous Stoic philosopher, wisely said to limit yourself to the present. This statement highlights the essence of Stoic wisdom, the importance of focusing on the present moment. When you are immersed in the past, you may find yourself reliving traumatic experiences or clinging to what no longer exists. Similarly, when you worry about the future, you often create unnecessary anxiety about events that have not yet happened and may never happen. Both of these habits can prevent you from experiencing the richness of the present. The practice of mindfulness is an effective way to embrace the present. Why build emotional boundaries? Prevent other people's negative emotions from affecting you. Not everyone lives with a positive or balanced mindset. Some people bring negative emotions, anger, resentment, or criticism, and without boundaries, you can easily get caught up in their emotional spiral. For example, if a friend constantly complains about life, you may feel drained or stressed by their negativity. Protect your mental energy. Mental energy is a limited resource. When you let others violate your boundaries, you use up valuable energy on unnecessary things, leaving you with little to focus on your goals. Boost self-control and confidence. Emotional boundaries help you feel in control of your life. You don't have to take responsibility for other people's emotions, which helps you feel more confident and balanced. Moment mindfulness involves paying close attention to your present experience without judgment. It means being fully engaged in whatever you are doing, whether it is eating a meal, going for a walk, or having a conversation. Paying attention to the details, the taste of the food, the feel of the ground beneath your feet, the tone of someone else's voice. By immersing yourself in these experiences, you are connecting yourself to the present. This can reduce feelings of attachment to the past or future. Engaging in mindfulness activities can significantly improve your ability to stay present. For example, meditation trains your mind to focus on the present. Even simple breathing exercises can bring your attention back to the present moment. Try to spend a few minutes a day on these exercises. Over time, you will find that you are less distracted by past regrets or future worries. Living in the present also means appreciating what you have right now. Cultivate gratitude for the small moments and simple joys in your life. This shift in focus from what is lacking to what is abundant can change your perspective and make it easier to let go of the attachments that weigh you down. By embracing the present moment, you build a foundation of emotional stability and clarity. How to build emotional boundaries in practice. Know your boundaries. First, you need to be clear about what you can and cannot accept. Ask yourself, what makes me feel uncomfortable or drains my energy? For example, if you feel drained after long conversations with a negative person, that's a sign you need clearer boundaries. Learn to say no. Stoics advise against saying yes to every request or expectation from others. Sometimes saying no politely but firmly is the best way to protect your boundaries. For example, if a coworker wants you to do extra work when you already have personal plans, say, "I'm sorry, but I can't help you this time." Don't let other people's emotions get the best of you. When someone is angry, sad, or frustrated, remind yourself that the emotion belongs to them, not you. You can sympathize, but that doesn't mean you have to take on that emotion. For example, if a loved one criticizes you for a personal decision, calmly respond, "I understand how you feel, but this is the decision I believe is best for me." Set time and distance when necessary. If someone repeatedly violates your boundaries, create distance or limit your time with them. This doesn't mean you don't care, but rather you protect yourself from negativity. For example, if a friend complains incessantly, reduce the frequency of your meetings or politely end the conversation when it starts to get negative. Practice self-compassion. Remember that setting boundaries isn't selfish, but rather a way to take care of your mental health. Remind yourself, I have the right to protect my inner peace. Marcus Aurelius, as an emperor, often had to deal with betrayers, critics, and negative people. Instead of letting them affect him, Marcus kept his mind clear by reminding himself, they are just acting according to their nature, and that has nothing to do with my values. He often spent quiet time journaling and meditating, which helped him maintain balance during difficult times. His story reminds us that boundaries are not just about protecting ourselves, but also about focusing on what really matters. Write down a list of things you don't want to accept. Write down behaviors, words, or situations that make you feel uncomfortable. This will help you clearly recognize when your boundaries are being violated. Practice saying no in small situations. If you often find it difficult to say no, start by saying no to unimportant requests. This will help you get used to protecting your boundaries. Observe your emotions after each interaction. After each conversation or situation, ask yourself, how do I feel? Does this interaction drain my energy? If so, find a way to adjust or create distance. Remind yourself of your right to emotional protection. Whenever you feel pressured to please others, tell yourself, my happiness is not in the hands of others. I have the right to inner peace. Building emotional boundaries is an important step in protecting your happiness and peace of mind. When you learn to distance yourself from negative energies, you not only feel freer, but you can also focus on your important values and goals. As the Stoics taught, guard your mind like a fortress. Let only what is absolutely necessary enter. Rule 7. Reframe your thoughts. Stoic philosophy emphasizes that happiness and inner peace come not from what happens around us, but from how we think about those events. Epictetus once said, "Men are not disturbed by events, but by their thoughts about events." To achieve mental freedom, you need to learn to reframe your thoughts when faced with difficulties, disappointments, or negative emotions. Reframing your thoughts doesn't mean lying to yourself or ignoring reality, but but choosing a more positive and rational way of looking at what's happening. This skill helps you turn adversity into opportunity and maintain balance in your life. Reframing your thoughts is a powerful tool, a tool for emotional detachment. It involves changing the way you perceive and interpret situations, which helps you to break free from negativity. Thought patterns and emotional dependency, as the Stoic philosopher Marcus Aurelius once advised, the soul is colored by its thoughts. When you change your thoughts, you will change your emotional state and overall outlook on life. Start by identifying the negative thoughts that keep you bound. These may include beliefs like, I can't live without this person, I will never find someone else, or my happiness depends on them. Such thoughts create a sense of dependency and helplessness. Recognize these thought patterns is the first step to changing them. Next, challenge these thoughts by questioning their veracity. Ask yourself, is this thought absolutely true? Do I have any evidence to support this belief? Often you will see that these thoughts are exaggerated, unfounded. Realizing this can weaken their grip on your emotions. Once you have identified and challenged your negative thoughts, replace them with positive or neutral thoughts. Instead of, I can't live without this person, try, I have the ability to find happiness and fulfillment on my own instead. Thoughts determine emotions. Oh, emotions don't just happen. They are a product of how you interpret events. If you think things are going against you, you will feel sad or angry. But if you see it as an opportunity to learn, your emotions will be more positive. For example, when you fail a project, instead of thinking, I am so bad, think, this is an opportunity for me to find my weaknesses and improve. To maintain inner peace. Oh, negative thinking not only reduces your performance, it also robs you of inner peace. Reframing your thoughts helps you focus on what is important instead of getting distracted by unnecessary worries. Building strength in adversity. Oh, when you learn to reframe your thoughts, you will realize that adversity is not an enemy, but an opportunity to develop mental strength. Identifying negative thoughts. Oh, the first step to reframing your thoughts is to recognize when you are having negative or irrational thoughts. Ask yourself, what am I thinking? Is this really true? For example, if you think someone is disrespecting you because they don't respond to your messages right away, remind yourself, they might be busy. Not everything they do is about me. Find a different perspective. Oh, Marcus Aurelius advises, remember that there are many perspectives on every problem. Choose the perspective that brings you peace. Instead of only looking at the negative side of an event, look for the positive or neutral side. For example, if you are delayed on a flight, instead of getting angry, think, I have more time to read or relax. Change the story in your mind. Oh, instead of telling yourself negative stories, rewrite the script to be more positive. For example, instead of thinking, I'm never good at this, think, I'm learning to do better every day. Instead of, life is unfair, think, life is teaching me necessary lessons. Remind that events are neutral. Oh, Stoic philosophy emphasizes that events are not inherently good or bad. It's our thinking that makes them so. Focus on the objective facts instead of adding emotion or judgment to them. For example, if rain ruins your picnic plans, instead of getting frustrated, think, the rain is natural. I'll find a way to enjoy the day differently. Practice gratitude. Oh, gratitude is a powerful tool for reframing your thoughts. When you focus on what you already have, difficulties become smaller. Ask yourself, what can I be grateful for in this situation? For example, if you lose a job opportunity, think, I'm grateful I have time to better prepare for the next opportunity. I will never find anyone else with more opportunities for love and connection in my future. These new thoughts will reflect a more balanced and empowering perspective. To reinforce these new thought patterns, practice daily affirmations. Write down positive statements about yourself and your ability to grow independently, and read them aloud each day. Over time, these affirmations can help rewire your brain to adopt a more positive perspective. Also, mindfulness techniques like meditation can support your efforts to reshape your thoughts. Mindfulness helps you become aware of your thought patterns without judgment, allowing you to observe and change them more effectively. Reshaping your thoughts is not a one-time effort, but an ongoing practice. By continually challenging and changing your negative beliefs, you build emotional resilience and have greater control over your reactions. This shift in thinking nurture a sense of inner strength and detachment, empower you to move forward with confidence and clarity. Marcus Aurelius, in his Meditations, recounts how he faced the challenges of being an emperor. He wrote, if you cannot change the event, change the way you see it. When faced with betrayal or failure, he focused not on the loss, but on how these challenges shaped him into a better leader. Marcus' example reminds us that every event carries with it the opportunity for growth, if we look for it. Keep a thought journal. Each day, write down a situation that makes you feel negative. Then, try to rewrite how you could view that situation in a more positive light. For example, I messed up a report today, but this is an opportunity for me to learn to be more careful. Use questions to test your thoughts. When negative thoughts arise, ask yourself, is this thought really true? Is there another way to look at it? Is this thought helpful to me? Remind yourself that everything is temporary. Negative emotions are only temporary if you don't feed them. Remind yourself, this too shall pass. What matters is what I learn from it. Underscore, underscore, underscore. Underscore, underscore, underscore. Underscore, 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 underscore. Underscore, 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 underscore. Underscore, 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 underscore. Underscore, underscore. Underscore, 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 underscore. Underscore, underscore, underscore. Reframing your thoughts not only helps you cope with adversity, but also opens the path to lasting happiness and peace. When you change the way you see things, you not only change your emotions, but you also change your life. As Marcus Aurelius said, change your thoughts and you will change the world around you. Rule 8, set healthy boundaries. Stoic philosophy teaches that to live a happy and free life, you need to learn to protect your mental and emotional space. Marcus Aurelius once wrote, "Your mind is your last refuge. Let no one invade it." This emphasizes the importance of setting healthy boundaries, both physical and mental, to protect your peace and personal worth. Healthy boundaries are not about being selfish or indifferent to others. Instead, they are about consciously managing your energy and time, ensuring that you are not overwhelmed by negative demands or emotions from those around you. Do you have difficulty saying no or setting limits with others? Setting healthy boundaries is important for emotional separation. Boundaries protect your health and help you control your emotional space. Define what behavior is acceptable and what behavior is not acceptable, and communicate these clearly to others. By respecting your own limits, strengthen self-esteem and reduce dependence on others for validation or happiness. When you set boundaries, you define the boundary between where you end and where others begin. This practice helps prevent emotional entanglement and promotes a sense of autonomy. For example, if someone's behavior is causing you stress, calmly but firmly express your need for space or a change in interaction. This is not about pushing people away, but about protecting your mental, emotional health. When you set these limits, remember that boundaries are a form of self-respect. Respecting them signals to others that you value yourself and your needs. Over time, setting consistent boundaries helps you cultivate healthier relationships based on mutual respect and understanding, which is a proactive step towards emotional independence, ensuring that your peace of mind is not dependent on the actions or approval of others. Why is it important to set healthy boundaries? Protect your mental health. When you don't have clear boundaries, you are more likely to become exhausted or stressed from having to meet too many expectations from others. Setting boundaries helps you focus on what's really important and maintain balance. For example, a friend always comes to you to complain about their problems. If you don't set limits, you will feel exhausted from receiving negative energy. Increase autonomy. When you set boundaries, you have control over how you spend your time and energy. This helps you feel more free and confident in your decisions. Improve relationships. Healthy boundaries help you maintain mutual respect in relationships. They send the message that you value both your own needs and those of others, rather than allowing yourself to be overwhelmed or overshadowed by others. By setting and maintaining healthy boundaries, you create an emotionally safe environment where you can thrive, which empowers you to focus on your own growth and well-being, fostering a stronger sense of self and improving your overall quality of life. How to set healthy boundaries in practice. Be clear about your values and priorities. To set boundaries, you first need to be clear about what is important to you. Ask yourself, what do I need to feel comfortable and stress-free? For example, if you need quiet time to work, set boundaries with your family or coworkers that you don't want to be disturbed during certain hours. Learn to say no. One of the most effective ways to set boundaries is to say no to things that don't align with your values or time. I don't feel guilty about saying no. It's your way of protecting yourself. For example, if a friend asks you to attend an event that you're not interested in, politely decline. Thanks for the invitation, but I can't make it this time. Communicate boundaries clearly. Other people can't read your mind. Communicate your boundaries directly but gently so they understand the limits you set. Well, for example, if a coworker frequently asks you to do work for them, say, "I understand that you need help, but I have my own work to do. Please understand." Stick to your boundaries. Once you set boundaries, stick to them. If you easily compromise or let others violate them, your boundaries will lose their meaning. For example, if you decide not to respond to work emails after hours, stick to that decision, even if you feel pressured. Set emotional boundaries. Don't let other people's emotions control you. Remember that you have the right to refuse to participate in negative conversations or situations. Epictetus, in his teachings, emphasized that no one can control your mind unless you let them. While living in harsh conditions as a slave, he established mental boundaries to protect his inner freedom. Even though he was treated badly, he did not allow those actions to affect how he saw his self-worth. This story reminds us that even in the most difficult situations, protecting personal boundaries is essential to maintaining peace and freedom. Write down the boundaries you want to set. Make a list of situations or relationships that make you feel uncomfortable. Then write down how you can set clear boundaries to improve them. For example, I will not take on extra work on the weekends unless it is an emergency. Practice saying no in small situations. Start with simple things like saying no to an unnecessary invitation or a task that is beyond your ability. Focus on how you feel. After setting boundaries, pay attention to how you feel. If you feel more relaxed and less stressed, that's a sign that you're on the right track. Try positive affirmations. Remind yourself, I have the right to protect my time and energy without feeling guilty. Setting healthy boundaries is an important skill for maintaining balance in your life and protecting your inner peace. When you learn to set clear boundaries, you not only protect your values, but you also build healthy, respectful relationships. As the Stoic philosophy teaches, your mind is a temple. Let only what is worthy enter. Rule 9. Engage in self-care. Stoic philosophy emphasizes that self-care is not a luxury, but a responsibility. Epictetus once said, "You cannot control the outside world, but you can absolutely control how you take care of yourself." Self-care is not just about physical health, but also includes mental, emotional, and spiritual health. When you engage in self-care, you are building the foundation for maintaining balance and peace in your life. This not only helps you cope with everyday challenges, but also enhances your ability to live in accordance with your values and goals. When was the last time you did something just for yourself? Engage in. Self-care is essential to emotional detachment and building a resilient, independent life. Seneca believes in the importance of personal health, emphasizing that a healthy mind and a healthy body is a short but complete description of a state of well-being in this world. Self-care means prioritizing activities that nourish your body, mind, and spirit. Exercise, for example, not only improves your health but also releases endorphins, which elevates your mood. Meditation and mindfulness activities help focus your thoughts and reduce stress, promoting mental clarity. And emotional stability. Hobbies and passions play an important role in self-care. Whether it is painting, reading, gardening, or playing a musical instrument, these activities bring joy and fulfillment, making you less dependent on others for your happiness. In addition to spending quality time with those love, support, and uplift you, strengthen your sense of community and belonging. Self-care is creating a balanced lifestyle, supporting your health. By taking care of yourself, you build a strong foundation that allows you to face life's challenges. You can't help others when you're not well. Just like the put on your oxygen mask first rule on an airplane, you can't support others well if you're exhausted or out of balance yourself. Self-care helps you maintain the strength to make a positive contribution to the world. Protect your mental and emotional health. Self-care is how you manage stress and prevent burnout. It helps you maintain mental clarity and emotional stability, even in the face of pressure. Show respect and love for yourself. When you take the time and effort to care for yourself, you're sending an important message: I am worthy of care and attention. This helps boost self-esteem and confidence. How to engage in self-care. Develop a physical care routine. Your body is your vehicle for achieving your life goals. Make it a priority to take care of it by getting enough sleep every day, 7 to 8 hours. Eating a healthy diet, focusing on whole, balanced foods. Making time for movement, even if it's just a short walk or light exercise. For example, starting your morning with yoga or a 15-minute walk can help you feel energized and ready to face the day. Nurture your mental health. Take time to care for your mind and spirit. Some effective ways include practicing meditation or focusing on your breathing to reduce stress. reading or learning something new to stimulate your mind. Keep a journal to track your feelings and thoughts. For example, a quiet evening with a favorite book or a short meditation can help you relax and recharge. Emotional care. Pay attention to your emotions and don't be afraid to express them. Some ways to take care of your emotions. Spend time in positive relationships where you feel heard and appreciated. Avoid negative people or situations that drain you. Practice gratitude, focusing on what you have instead of what you lack. For example, calling a close friend or spending time with family can help ease negative emotions. Set healthy boundaries. Learn to say no to unnecessary requests to protect your time and energy. This is an important part of self-care. For example, refuse to work overtime when you need time off to recharge. Do things you love. Self-care also includes making time for activities that bring you joy and inspiration. This could be painting, listening to music, gardening, or simply sitting still and enjoying a cup of tea. With confidence, it allows you to emotionally detach from others not out of coldness, but from a place of inner strength and confidence that prioritizing self-care is an important step in cultivating a fulfilling, independent life. Marcus Aurelius, in his Meditations, often reminded himself of the importance of keeping his mind and body healthy in order to perform his role to the best of his ability. He took time to reflect and write about his values, seeing it as a way to care for his spirit amid the pressures of being an emperor. Marcus writes, "Take time each day to let your mind be quiet and still, like a stream cleansed by its own stillness." This story shows that even in challenging circumstances, self-care is the foundation for maintaining balance and effectiveness. Practice self-care today. Create a self-care list. Write down 3 to 5 things you can do each day to take care of yourself. For example, drink enough water. Take 15 minutes to relax without technology. Go for a walk or do some light exercise. Set a schedule for yourself. Make time for yourself an integral part of your schedule. For example, every night before bed, I will take 10 minutes to meditate or write in a journal. Track how you feel. After you do your self-care activities, record how you feel. This will help you realize the value of self-care and stick to it. Try something new. Choose an activity you've always wanted to try but haven't had time for. It could be learning a new skill, trying a new recipe, or taking a yoga class. Engaging in self-care is not only a way to maintain health and balance, but also an act of respect and love for yourself. When you take good care of yourself, you have the energy and spirit to face life with strength and positivity. As Marcus Aurelius wrote, "Do not neglect yourself because your mind and body are your longest companions in life." Rule 10. Practice gratitude. Stoic philosophy emphasizes that gratitude is not just an emotion, but a way of life. Marcus Aurelius once wrote, "As you arise in the morning, think of how fortunate you are to be alive, to breathe, to think, to love." Gratitude is a way of focusing on the good things in life, rather than dwelling on the shortcomings or difficulties in life. Practicing gratitude does not mean ignoring challenges or suffering, but rather seeing them from a more positive perspective. When you focus on what you have instead of what you lack, you will feel happier, more peaceful, and more resilient in the face of adversity. Have you ever noticed that focusing on what you lack can make you feel more attached to what you don't have? Practicing gratitude can dramatically change your perspective, helping you emotionally detach from someone by actively acknowledging and appreciating the positive aspects of your life. You create a mindset of abundance rather than scarcity. Gratitude helps you recognize the value of what you do possess. This reduces the perceived need for what you think you are lacking. For example, write down 3 things you are grateful for every day. These can be as simple as a sunny day, a supportive friend, or a delicious meal. This exercise will shift your focus from what is absent to what is present and fulfilling in your life. The philosopher Epicurus noted that don't spoil what you have by wishing for what. Change the way you see the world. Gratitude helps you focus on the positive in your life, which changes the way you see the world around you. Instead of focusing on what's wrong, you'll notice what's good. For example, instead of complaining about a busy day, be grateful that you have a job and the opportunity to contribute. Reduce stress and anxiety. When you practice gratitude, you shift your focus from the negative to the positive. This reduces stress and anxiety and improves your mental health. For example, instead of worrying about the future, be grateful for what you've achieved and the people who have supported you along the way. Enhance relationships. Gratitude encourages you to appreciate the people around you. When you express gratitude, you build stronger relationships based on respect and love. For example, a sincere thank you to a coworker or loved one can improve your relationship and bring joy to both of you. Keep a gratitude journal. Take a few minutes each day to write down 3 things you are grateful for. These can be small things like a good cup of coffee or big things like health and family. For example, today I am grateful for the beautiful weather, a delicious meal, and a meaningful conversation with a friend. Express gratitude to others. Don't keep gratitude to yourself. Express it through words or actions. A sincere thank you, a card, or a small act of kindness can bring joy to others. For example, send a thank you note to a friend who helped you through a difficult time, or thank a coworker for supporting you at work. Focus on what you have. During difficult times, ask yourself, what good things are still going on in my life? This will help you stay positive and motivated to overcome challenges. For example, if you are struggling financially, be grateful that you have your health and loved ones. Practice gratitude in your thoughts. Whenever you feel down or negative, take a few minutes to think about what you are grateful for. This will help you adjust your mood and regain your balance. For example, when you feel frustrated about not achieving a goal, think about the lessons you learned from that experience. Use reminders. Repeat statements that help you focus on gratitude, such as, I am grateful for what I have. Life has given me more than I thought. You have forgotten that what you have was once one of the things you only wished for. This wisdom reminds us to appreciate our present blessings instead of focusing on what we lack. Gratitude enhances your emotional health and creates a buffer against the pain of detachment. As you cultivate the habit of gratitude, you will find it easier to let go of attachments that no longer serve you, paving the way for a more peaceful and fulfilling life. Epictetus, despite the harsh conditions of slavery, was always grateful for life. He once said, "Never let the things you want make you forget the things you have." Instead of blaming fate, he focused on what he could control, his thoughts, actions, and reactions. Gratitude helped him live a meaningful life, despite difficult circumstances. Write down the good things. Take 5 minutes each morning or evening to write down 3 things you are grateful for during the day. These can be positive experiences, a beautiful moment, or a person who helped you. Express gratitude in person. Find someone you want to thank and express your gratitude sincerely. This will not only bring joy to them, but also to you. Take time to reflect. Each week, take some time to reflect on the things you appreciate in your life. This helps you connect more deeply with gratitude and feel the abundance of life. Practice gratitude during challenges. When faced with a challenge, try to find one positive thing in the situation to be grateful for. This helps you stay optimistic and focused on solutions. Practicing gratitude is a simple yet powerful way to build a happy and meaningful life. When you are grateful for what you have, you not only feel richer spiritually, but you also radiate positivity to those around you. As Marcus Aurelius wrote, "Live each day with gratitude, for this life, though it is short, has brought you more great things than you could ever hope for." Thank you for taking the time to explore with me these valuable rules from Stoic philosophy for living a more meaningful life. These lessons not only help us face challenges, but also open the door to true peace and happiness. Remember, you are the one who has control over your mind and emotions. Don't forget to apply these rules to your daily life and share your feelings with us. If you find these shares useful, please support the Inner Stoic channel by clicking the subscribe button, like the video, and leave a comment below. I would love to hear your thoughts on your journey of applying the Stoic philosophy to your life. Let's continue to learn, grow, and find inner peace together. Thank you for joining us, and see you in the next video. Have a meaningful day.